So my legs are in the stirrups, and it doesn't feel comfortable because that area is not touched ever. You feel like a little, there's like probably no chance I'll get a period, which actually is not, it's not uncommon, but it's not the most common thing.
I'm fully trusting that you have an IUD right now. You could have just walked into the office, pretended that you went to an appointment. For all I know.
I know. What if I did that?
I honestly have
You'll
no idea.
know because the strings are really pokey when you first get it. You're getting a vasectomy.
When do you think would be a good time?
When we're
32?
sure we're not gonna have any more kids. I do feel like I kind of have an identity crisis. Who in the world would I be had I not gotten married so young? What would I do with my adult life if it wasn't for you? Like, you've changed my food habits, my hobbies, my career.
What's up, dudes? And welcome back to the Unplanned podcast.
Woohoo!
We are about to go ride horses here in an hour and a half.
There's no way we're gonna make it on time.
You don't think we're going to make it?
There's just too much to be done.
I think if we cram, we can make it happen.
Well, you're gonna have to tell Augie to eat faster.
That's true. Doesn't he take
From my
30 minutes, 40 minutes? How long does it usually take to feed?
Yeah, like 30 to 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. Maybe we won't make it on time.
We're definitely not going to.
We rode horses last time on the shore of Bend in Oregon, which is like southern Oregon, and it was beautiful. It was my first time ever riding a horse. So I thought it'd be fun to do a date.
That was when I was freshly pregnant. And apparently you're not supposed to ride a horse when you're pregnant. I mean, you can probably...
You're not supposed to.
Yeah,
you're definitely not supposed to ride a horse
maybe
when
it's
you're
not
pregnant.
recommended.
We just had no idea. And we were just so new to it. Like, we had just found out we were pregnant, so it didn't seem like...
I was probably like 7 weeks pregnant.
We didn't even like think of it. But I'm pretty sure when you're early in pregnancy, that's when it's most dangerous to do activities like that. I think.
Did you look
I think
it
it's
up?
all about the placenta and it getting detached from the baby. So
Oof.
I'm pretty sure that was kind of risky. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not a
good
doctor.
thing we went really slow with him. I did not go fast.
But that was really fun. And you
super fun.
were so happy. It was your birthday. It was like a really fun. We actually vlogged that on our YouTube channel.
That was like one of the best days of my life. It was
Really?
so fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I thought you looked so hot in your outfit.
Remember that
I
night?
kept taking pictures of you. I was like, you look so good.
That night we took a bump picture and I was like 7 weeks pregnant.
And we also got in a hot tub and took a video to then post just to throw people off because we were teasing that you were pregnant, but then like people didn't really know yet.
Well, the hot tub was like on 90. It was like body temperature water.
We looked it up. We made sure it was less than our body temperature. That way it wasn't going to be safe. I mean, that way it wasn't going to be unsafe. I'm sorry for the baby. So
right.
That was fun. So yeah, we're riding horses again today on a date, and I'm very excited. I did not realize though when I planned this that it was the same day that Abby was getting an IUD. And
bad planning.
I am so sorry about that. But if it's not too late to cancel though, we can still cancel it if you're not feeling up to it.
I think I'll be fine.
But you've had 2 IUDs now. That's insane.
Sorry, I'm so tired right now.
It makes sense. I mean, you're breastfeeding, so I think you have a valid excuse.
What do they say? Like breastfeeding's like how much energy is expended?
Oh crap! I think don't they say you have to eat like 500 more calories a day?
Yeah.
To help with that.
So you'd have to do a crazy workout to burn 500 calories.
Yeah, it's a lot of calories.
So that's what I'm doing on top of working out. So I'm exhausted.
You're the one that encourages me to go to the gym.
Really?
Yes.
I don't tell you to go to the gym.
I would not
though.
go as much. Well, because when you go, I'm like, Abby's going to the gym. I should go to the gym.
Really?
You know? Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'm definitely not down to my pre-pregnancy weight though.
That does not matter.
That's not my goal of working out.
Honestly,
truthfully,
hot take: weight does not matter. It's about how you feel. It's about like you could have a ton of muscle. Like say a woman might be like, oh, she's heavier, but it's really because she's muscular, right? Like muscle weighs more than fat. So I think people put way too much emphasis on their weight, and you're very muscular, so you're gonna weigh more than petite women your size because
I'm not
you're
upset
jacked.
about my weight at all. It's just I would have thought that I'd be closer to my pre-pregnancy weight at this point. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe this is my message to all those women. Like, you can literally work out your entire pregnancy, eat right. I mean, let's be honest. I had a couple extra bagel bites during pregnancy, but I didn't like go crazy. Wouldn't you agree? Like, I wasn't like, eating snacks all the time. And then I got back to working out as soon as it was safe because I wanted to, and I'm still not at my pre-pregnancy weight. So, I mean, all that to say that you can do all those, and I'm nursing. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
I'm still not there, and I'm totally okay with that. If you don't feel like your body's bouncing back, or if something that I've posted makes it look like I've like already gotten to my pre-pregnancy state, that's not the case at all.
Do you think you're going to nurse for 6 months, 9 months, a year? Like, what are you thinking?
I think my goal is always 6 months, with the understanding that once I get to 6 months, it's so much easier. Because then, at least for our first, he did not want to nurse nearly as much, and so I just kept nursing him, and we never had to give him formula. So I'm thinking we'll probably get to almost a year with Augie too. But by the end of nursing, though, remember how chill it was? Like, we would do it like twice a day, like once in the morning, once before bed.
I think the convenience of like stopping nursing early is that you have more flexibility as a couple. So if you want to take a day trip or something, I mean, I guess you could pump, right? Like if we took a day trip somewhere. I will say pumping is such a hassle sometimes.
Yeah.
You take that stuff on an airplane and across the country, like it just kind of...
Is it a hassle for you, babe?
Not a hassle for me. I'm not complaining. I'm just, I almost feel like I'm...
It takes away.
Yeah, it takes away from...
I have an internal clock going in my brain of like, okay, wait, when was the last time I pumped? I need to be careful. And then I get stressed out about like, oh, am I pumping enough milk? Am I doing it for long enough? Like things like that.
As a partner though, it's kind of like you almost bear the weight of it a little bit too. Not as much, obviously. It's way easier to be the man and not have to be the one pumping milk out of your breasts. But yeah, there's definitely like a shared load in a way, I would say.
In general, I think it's probably easier to be a man.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Yeah, it probably is.
I do actually think that. I mean, think about it. You weren't spread eagle at the doctor today.
That's true.
Getting zapped.
Let's talk about that. You've had 2 IUDs now. Okay, I have. When you got the original IUD, I think my mom was a little worried because there was this whole scare back in the day where women, like the OG IUDs.
Oh,
I think
she was scared.
They've effed women up. Like they were really bad. Women lost their fertility. I want to say people might have died. Like they were, I don't know if this is like in the 80s or whatnot, but it was a while back before we have the modern day IUDs. And so I think we had mentioned to some people that you were getting one and they were scared for you.
Really?
Do you remember that?
No.
We were about to get married. We were 20 and 21. Why did you choose that initially?
Well, we met with someone about all the birth control options.
That's right. I forgot about that. My mom's friend.
Yeah.
That was so funny. My mom was like, hey, my friend knows a lot about like birth control and she would love to meet with you. And she's very, very, it was, really sweet lady from my mom's office. My mom's an engineer. So it was one of her fellow co-workers at.
Well, because doesn't she help like women find options for birth control? I
forget. She had some background in it. I totally forget what it was, but she walked us through like all the different options.
Yeah, because she volunteered at like some type of women's
clinic or something. Yeah. So that was like really nice of her to do that for us.
Oh, it was. And it was really informative. And I think she was totally not biased.
Yeah.
She just like gave us the information on all of our options and like how effective they were and like possible side effects and how, all that stuff. And it was really, really helpful. And then after that conversation, I don't know if I went into that conversation thinking I'm going to get an IUD, but afterwards I was like, I think that's the best option for us because we were still in college. We were still so young and we just knew we didn't want to get pregnant right away.
Let's be honest. If you would have been on the pill, I feel like we would have gotten pregnant within the first month of being married because you forget to take pills all the time.
Yeah.
You're so forgetful with that
like
stuff.
Like the vitamins thing is even hard for me.
Oh gosh. No, because like with pregnancy, you'd forget to take like pills that you needed to take while you were pregnant for days. And then you'd feel horrible. Like iron or something.
Oh yeah, iron.
And you'd feel so exhausted. You're like, why do I and you're like, oh, wait a second.
I've been taking my iron in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was anemic with my first pregnancy and so I needed to take iron and I would forget and I would like poop out and be like, yeah. It's been like 3 days. And you can't really do that with birth control because for perfect use, you need to take it like at the same time every day. I all of a sudden got a little worried about talking about birth control because I know it's a sensitive topic.
Oh, we should probably give a disclaimer like right about now.
We are not doctors.
We are not doctors.
Not even semi-close.
We are influencers.
Google search at best.
And we
but what we are experts on is our own experiences.
Yes, that's right.
So that is what I will
speak
from.
Yes.
Anyway, so we met with that woman and we were, I think both of us, but mostly me because it is kind of mostly my decision. Obviously, family planning is a joint decision, but the route we choose for birth control, more my decision.
Wouldn't that be nice when men can, I mean, obviously dudes can wear condoms, but like when there's like a device a dude can get or some sort of, I don't know, pill. There should, like when there's a pill for men.
I want them to shoot something into you.
I wish I could. Like I want to take on part of the responsibility here. You know what I'm saying? But it kind of sucks that it all relies on the women. I wonder how that happened. Is it
anatomy.
Is it anatomy? Is it easier to make a pill for women to
Actually,
you know what?
Control? I actually think it would be way easier to make men sterile than to make women sterile.
Well, that would make more sense.
Because we have 1 or 2 days a month where we are very fertile. Whereas men are the same fertility all
Wouldn't that be the opposite though? Because if you only have like a couple days window, then like just fighting it for those days would be easier than fighting a dude's like, stuff.
No, because you have
day.
to fight it every single day, even though we're only fertile.
But then
for 2 days.
For a guy, it would be every day though. You know what I'm saying?
As they should. Wait, what are you confused about?
I just got confused. I don't even care. Anyway, IUD. You decided on that.
I got the Kyleena because I hadn't had babies yet, and so they recommended that one for me.
Yes.
I think it's a slightly lower hormone dose, but mostly it's a smaller device.
And I remember you watched all these YouTube videos beforehand.
I watched a couple.
And you were a little scared because the videos share some freaky stuff. They're like, it's the worst pain I was ever in my life. It was, this... I was like screaming. Like people would share the craziest stuff when it came to IUD insertion.
There's a lot of stories. I'm sure people know what I'm talking about on TikTok, probably on Reddit.
So what was your first
YouTube?
Yeah, what was your first experience?
My first experience, I went by myself because we weren't married, and so I was like,
you didn't want me to see your hoo-ha?
Well, that wasn't.
You wouldn't even let your mom go though. You went totally by yourself.
She didn't even know about it.
Your best friend Morgan didn't go with you.
She was busy.
I think you asked her to, right?
I think I asked her to, and she was busy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't a big deal. I went by myself, and they had a nurse come in, and she, like, her main job was literally just to hold my hand.
Wow.
I was like, okay. And they were like, they kind of like warned me when they were going to do it. So my legs are in the stirrups, and they're down there. The first thing they put in, I'm pretty sure, is something to measure down there.
Oh gosh.
And
is it
like,
a super long like needle looking thing?
Kinda, yeah. And it doesn't feel comfortable.
Yikes.
I mean, even when they clean it, it doesn't feel comfortable because that area is not touched ever.
Do they use what's the thing called that they like put in there and then they have to open it?
Speculum. That's the first thing. That doesn't even really hurt that much. It's more like uncomfortable.
Really?
Then they go in there and do some cleaning thingy. Then they stick something in there to clamp it. That doesn't feel good at all. That makes you bleed because they clamp on your cervix.
Oh.
So they clamp it, and then they measure it, or maybe you measure first, I'm not sure, and then they like tell you like, okay, here it comes. And that's the best thing about it is that it is so quick.
Okay.
Like, I mean, from the time they put the speculum in to the time they took it out, it took 5 minutes. But you're only really feeling pain for like 30 seconds. You can take anything for 30 seconds, ladies. I mean, seriously, we can do it. And so my first time, the nurse is like holding my hand, and she's just like, okay, here it comes. And then I don't even remember it very well, but it was just like a cramp, like, ouch. And I might have flinched or something. And then it was all done. And I had light bleeding for like a month.
And you drove home by yourself.
And I drove home, and I was totally fine.
They were worried about you driving home afterwards,
They
weren't
kind of thought I should have brought a buddy, but I didn't need one. I really didn't need one.
And that was right before we got married.
And then I asked the nurse today, I was like, do most people bring their husbands with them? And she's like, no, most people come alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I felt kind of bad that I was chilling in the parking lot today and just waiting for you. Like, I felt like I needed to go back there and hold your hand.
She said a lot of people come alone.
Really?
Yeah.
I know there's people
once you've had a baby, you're kind of like, I've seen some things. I've done some things.
There's people who are trying to make it a thing to have anesthesia available for women who get IUDs.
She did spray something on there.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, this is some numbing spray or something like that.
But that was today. That wasn't back when you got the first one.
I don't think they used anything to numb me the first time.
The first time you lost your period completely, right?
Yeah, which actually is it's not uncommon, but it's not the most common thing to happen. Most people still get a light period with the Kyleena, but maybe mine was just light enough beforehand that it just completely knocked it out. But I didn't have a period the entire time I had the Kyleena, which was my first IUD. And so this one, I don't know. They said there's like probably no chance I'll get a period.
I remember we're newly married, living in low-income housing, and we got that bill for the IUD, and I think it was $800.
This one was more.
Oh. Well, I think you paid out of pocket for this one. That past one was with insurance. It was $800.
Yeah, birth control.
I actually think it should be free.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
I think it should be, especially since there's such a debate on pro-life versus pro-choice. I think birth control should be free because it would just like make the situation. I think it would ease the situation if it's like everyone has free access to birth control. So I think it would help both sides maybe come together.
Do you want to know if you self-pay for an IUD, what it cost at this clinic that I went to, which I'm not going to say, but
$1,500.
More, yeah.
Wait, more than $1,500?
Yeah,
I thought
because you have to get a urine test, which they charge you for.
Shoot.
Probably to make sure you're not pregnant, because they're not going to give you one if you're pregnant. Then they charge you for the device itself, which is a little over $1,300.
Frick.
And then they charge you for the actual procedure of inserting it, which is another like $300. Thank you to Lumi for sponsoring this portion of today's episode.
Because Abby smells.
I smell?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, you do. You've been working out a lot more, and man, when you get home from the gym, I'm like, you need to take a shower.
You never told me that.
I'm just messing with you, by the way. You know that, right?
No, I can't tell.
You mess with me about me smelling all the time. So.
No, because you could use a little bit extra Lumi.
Okay.
Lumi actually has a really cool product. It's the whole body deodorant. It literally rubs in like a lotion onto your body.
That's right. You were telling me about that.
Yes, and it's 100% safe to use anywhere on your body, so you can use it on all your hot spots, but you could also, I honestly should probably use some on my feet.
Use it on your back.
My back is stinky.
Can you do it there?
You could literally put it anywhere.
I feel like that's where I smell, is my back.
You could put it anywhere, and it's also aluminum free, which is great because aluminum makes my skin irritated.
Yeah.
It's also baking soda free and paraben free, and it's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Wild.
So basically, you don't even have to shower if you put that on.
Pretty much. Don't say that, actually.
Okay.
That's not a guarantee with this. But it is clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have the coconut scent, and it smells so good I actually want to eat it. Like, you know I love coconut.
You probably shouldn't eat it. I don't think that'd be safe.
Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes. Oh, I love the deodorant wipes. And free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code UNPLANNED at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use code UNPLANNED. That's LUME deodorant.com using code UNPLANNED.
That's awesome.
Now back to the episode.
Look, I love America. I love our country, but it does suck that healthcare is so expensive here. I'm going to say we got some pretty good healthcare. It's just, it's ridiculous. Like, it can be so expensive.
Yeah, I have no idea what other people
and the
pay.
pricing is honestly BS, though, because what happens is
I have learned that
they will say one price, and then the insurance company will say, no. They'll negotiate it down. So it's not just like a fair, like, oh, here's the price.
Well, isn't it also weird that they have a different price for insurance if you have insurance and then if you're paying out of pocket? In general, that's just weird because you'd be like, this is what the service costs and this is what the, medications or the devices we use costs. Also, isn't it so weird? I was literally thinking about this today because I was paying our kids' medical bills, but isn't it so weird that, like, you don't know what you're agreeing to before you go in, but you have to get it done. You can't pay it right away, and then they inflate it and make it so confusing.
That's what bugs me, actually. I wish you could just go in and pay right there. It
Any
bothers
other
me.
service you get done, that's the case.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
It's too...
I mean, there's some instances where you can, but very rarely.
I feel like they overcomplicate it on purpose.
Today they made me pay, yeah.
I think they overcomplicated it on purpose to screw people over and so that they make more money because there's a lot of money in healthcare. There's so much money in it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I mean,
that was
they
kind
should
of...
be paid well.
That was kind of a tangent. Yes, and we need...
That's the unfortunate thing is I don't think a lot of it's going to the providers. It's more so going to these larger pharmaceuticals.
And look, like, we need to pay doctors well because, like, we want really smart people to be doing our medical procedures and taking care of us. We want extremely intelligent people to be doing all that so that we get the best care possible. But sometimes that can... make it hard for people who are lower income to afford this stuff.
I mean, it was a steep cost.
Okay, question for you. Are we going to give our daughters an IUD?
We don't have daughters.
I guess if we did one day. I don't know.
I didn't know that was the direction we were going.
I didn't even know either. I just kind of I kind of just started spitting off.
Yeah, that's
stuff.
a whole different... Yeah, that is something I would really need to think about when... we have kids in high school.
It's really complicated. Like, all these topics are so complicated and there's so many different perspectives and sides to take into account. But
yeah, I never got the talk and you did. So.
I got the talk when I was 9 because I started asking questions when I was
really
young.
good of your parents to
I think
answer
it was
your
too.
questions. Yeah.
I'm really glad they did.
So we'll see. We will definitely be giving our kids a talk. I don't know. I just know that it's not right now because he doesn't even know his ABCs.
Yeah.
I'm going to think about those things when we get there. And right now, I'm just thinking about our current family planning situation.
Yeah, I think we honestly could even have an age-appropriate talk with them before they're even 9. Like, I don't think...
Oh, for sure.
I don't think that it has to be this big thing. Maybe if it's something that you talk about, over the years with them, it's never this, like, freaky... shocking thing that happened.
They're going to be asking questions as soon as they can talk that
Yeah.
are going to relate to reproduction in some
Yeah.
way. Even if they see a woman that's pregnant. So it's just like there's always an age-appropriate way to kind of talk about those things, I feel like.
So we got married 4.5 years ago, and you stopped getting your period because you had an IUD. And then you got the IUD taken out back in the summer of 2021. And I think we started using, I think we had condoms that we used for a little bit. It was the 2-year mark. We had talked about, hey, after 2 years, you know, we'll start trying.
I got it out, and getting it out was so easy.
Really?
Yeah,
it was nothing like getting it inserted?
No, it wasn't like getting it inserted. I mean, it wasn't terrible to get it inserted either, but they just pulled, there's like strings on it that they just clamp onto and then yank it out.
Yeah.
It didn't really hurt.
What does it feel like? Like, what do you feel when they take it out?
A pinch.
A pinch.
Inside. Like in the weirdest place you've never been pinched before in your life.
It's crazy how you went from fully not being able to get pregnant at the time to boom, now you can.
That's the other thing. It's effective immediately, so that's good.
Yeah. What's creepy though, what kept freaking me out when we had the IUD though, was we would have friends that I think we knew someone that had an ectopic pregnancy, and we knew people that ended up getting pregnant with the IUD too.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many stories I've heard like that when they're 99.9% effective.
Yeah, I honestly question that sometimes because I'm
It's
like,
like,
how do I know that
95?
much of the 0.1%?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know that many
people. And they
people.
can't just be like, it's 99.9 with perfect use. It's like, you don't use it like you just get it inserted or not.
Yeah.
So I do question that sometimes, but
yeah,
we understand that there's a 0.1% chance that we could still get pregnant.
Did you get your period back when they took it out? You never got it back?
Yeah, I did.
Didn't you get it? Well, no, you did.
I had one
because
period.
you got your period and you were so sad because
I thought I was pregnant.
I think we had we weren't like trying, but I think we had maybe like done it a few times, and then you were devastated that you got your period.
I know. I thought I was.
You were really excited.
And so, I got one period in between, and then we got pregnant with our first. I never got my period back. Got pregnant with our second.
Yeah.
And now I have an IUD, so I will not be getting my period for who knows how long now.
Obviously, we're in the situation that we're in now. We have 2 beautiful boys, and we could not be happier. But if you could go back, would you have changed that? Like, would you have gotten an IUD back then?
The first time?
Yeah. Like after the first pregnancy?
Oh, no. I can't even imagine any other way now.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel too.
That's how I feel, but then also, I think at that time I was like, I really don't want to do hormonal. And so, obviously, it didn't work the best for us. Now, we're not saying we were perfect with everything, so clearly we weren't. But, I think I just needed to know for myself that non-hormonal doesn't work the best for me personally. So, like, non-hormonal options or natural family planning, all that stuff can work amazing for some people. And for other people, like me, very forgetful, not really...
Yeah.
Am I forgetful? Yeah, I'm never really a routine person, so it just didn't work the best for me, and it's better to just have it one and done,
Yeah. I think, like, if you're going to do natural family planning, or if you're going to do, there's some different, like, there's one where you have a thermometer and there's an app and you can, put your temperature into the app.
Yeah, I think that works great.
And then we almost did the Daisy at one point. Wasn't that a type of
it's the same thing.
Natural family planning, essentially? I think all those are great, but, like, personally, I think that if you're going to go down that route, you want to be married and open to the possibility of kids, because, I don't know, they're just not as effective as something like an IUD. So if you're dating or you're in a relationship and you're married,
it takes a lot more work.
Yeah.
Like this, I literally just went and got, and I can walk away and not even think about it for 8 years. But with that, it takes a lot more work. Like you have to think a lot, and you could mess up sometimes. But for some people, it works great.
So yesterday, you seemed pretty scared when it came to...
I honestly just wanted attention.
You wanted attention from me? That's what that was? Can't you just come out and say that? Like, why do you feel like you need to hide that? I wish you would have just said, Matt, I need you to give me attention.
I feel like you took me more seriously because I was pretending to be scared.
You pretended to be scared just to get me to focus on you more?
I was dreading it. I'm like, this isn't going to be like a fun thing to do tomorrow. Like, yippee, sign me up. But I also just wanted attention. Like, I love more than anything just like attention and like to be comforted and to feel like safe and cozy.
You're so schemy. Like you totally did all that just because you're like, I want him to really focus on, which I wanted. Obviously, I want to do that.
Spoiled.
Yes.
Come on now. I just want You would just be like, come here.
I did. Okay. I did spoil you. We got a special treat afterwards.
Spoiled.
I spoiled you. I wanted to take you out to brunch. You wouldn't let me take you out to brunch.
I wanted to get back to the babies because I had to feed Augie.
Okay. But brunch is like our treat. After we go to the hospital or, to
It wasn't the hospital.
A female doctor, every time we always get brunch. That's like our thing. We started that with our first pregnancy. We continued it with the second pregnancy. I still haven't eaten, Abby, I haven't eaten anything today. That's so bad.
You did eat pretzels.
I had a few pretzels at Swig after we got sodas.
I am really hungry too.
Okay, so you weren't even scared. That's like literally news to me. I fully believe you're a really good actress, by the way.
I told you. I said I just want attention. I did tell you that.
You should go into acting. You should really consider it.
I told you I just wanted attention. I didn't say I said I just want you to comfort me.
Okay.
Sometimes I just want comfort.
I feel like we could both step up our game with focusing on each other's love languages because you definitely like acts of service. Like that makes you feel so loved and appreciated, and I could do more of that. And then mine is words of affirmation. And what's so funny, Abby, is we give each other the one that we like. Like I feel like I would confidently say I'm good at giving you words of affirmation because that's what I like. So I say nice things to you all the time.
Yeah.
And then you want acts of service. So you're making me dinner. You're like picking up and doing things like that because you want me to also reciprocate that. And so I think we both need to just be aware of, maybe I should do the love language that my spouse really appreciates.
You made me a coffee today.
I didn't make you a coffee today, but we didn't have eggs. I wasn't going to make you breakfast this morning, but we were out of eggs.
I feel like I say nice things.
You really don't. I could do better on the acts of service. That's what I'm saying.
That makes me feel so bad. I hyped up your song.
Did you actually like my song?
Yes.
You really did?
I kept telling you. I came back in your office specifically to be like, I don't know if I told you enough how much I love it.
Which one? Okay, from I Like Right Now, Here to Stay, and Falling in Love, which one's your favorite? Rank them.
They all get stuck in my head.
Which one's the best song though? Just be honest.
I mean, I like Right Now the most because it's stuck in my head recently. And it feels so happy. Like it feels like a casual listening song.
Yeah.
So probably that one because I just listened to it on repeat.
What I love about that one is we wrote it so fast and it just kind of came together. We had the idea and then just like when you have a really good idea, sometimes the process moves so quickly because the core of the song is there, and so you're not trying to figure out what it is. Like the destination that you're headed to, and so you just quickly come up with the lyrics.
What if I write you a poem and then you turn it into a song?
That would be dope. That'd be really cool.
I'm gonna try
we could write a song together.
Okay. I can't sing though, so.
It's freaking cool that like there's music that I wrote that people listen to now.
Spotify.
I know you can literally
just say. But tell me why our Google doesn't know how to play it.
It does. You can say, "Hey Google, play I Like Right Now" by Matt Howard.
I've tried it. It doesn't work.
You're kidding. Mm-mm. I wonder if I have Siri do it. Hey Siri, play I Like Right Now by Matt Howard.
It doesn't do it on
It works.
Google.
It works with Siri. That's dope. I swear it works with Google. I think you're probably just doing it wrong. Google doesn't listen to you. When you talk to our Google, it never works.
It has child lock.
I think it knows my voice, and I think it doesn't recognize your voice.
It thinks I'm a child. And they're like, we're not going to listen to that kid.
Don't people sometimes think that you're a child when you call? Like when you're on the phone with somebody?
Like, can we talk to your dad? Is there an adult in the house that we can speak to? Actually, I came to the door. They were like selling stuff. And they're like, is there someone I can? I'm like, me. I own this house.
That's funny.
It was weird.
Okay, we got distracted getting your ID. So yeah.
I was like nervous because I was like, oh man, I don't want anything else.
You told me not to come with you though. That threw me off. That was some weird stuff that you were doing because you were like, don't come, I'm okay. But I feel like you really wanted me to come, so I did come. Be honest, you wanted me to come with you.
You weren't in the room. You were just in the car.
But like I dropped you off and honestly, I was there to be emotional support.
I could have done it either way.
Really?
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Because it really wasn't that big of a deal. It really wasn't.
Well, you made it feel like a big deal last night.
Yeah, I just wanted attention, like I said.
Okay. What can I do today?
Because remember the last time I got my IUD, you had like special treats for me, like prepared.
Wait, what did I give you last time?
A whatchamacallit bar.
I gave you a whatchamacallit? That's right, I did do that.
And then we watched Harry Potter. We should lay on the couch. And you're like, you don't have to do anything else all day. Just lay here and eat your chocolate bar.
And that's why you didn't want to go on the horseback ride, because you wanted to just watch Harry Potter and eat a whatchamacallit.
Something along those lines.
Does horseback riding sound like a good idea or a bad idea?
It'll be fine. I am cramping though, but
really?
Yeah, but it's fine.
That's the thing. Like, is that an internal thing, or is it actually going to affect you that you're like legs spread on a horse? You know what I'm saying?
No, that won't affect. It's so high up there.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because I did some research on Google and I saw people in the forum talking about how they went horseback riding the same day they got their IUD.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going to feel it.
But obviously, like, I want this to be fun for you. So if you don't want to go ride horses, like, we don't have to go ride horses.
I want to ride horses.
You do?
It'll be cute.
Okay. I thought it'd be kind of cute,
date.
too. It's at sunset, too.
Yeah,
in the
pretty.
mountains. It's going to be beautiful.
It'll be fun.
I'm excited. Okay.
So, yeah, you dropped me off because I told you not to come in. It would have been a little weird, honestly. I feel like it's sweet when you come to pregnancy appointments, but this type of appointment, it was just going to be, like, not the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It was girls only.
Yeah.
And let me just kind of walk you through the appointment.
Yeah, walk me through what happened. You didn't really tell me.
First of all, I had to pay like $800 for half of it.
That's so ridiculous.
So
but you
hopefully that insurance gets straightened out because I feel like it should definitely cover that. But
we're on a health share, so what happened with the health share? Why did it not cover the appointment?
They just didn't. They couldn't figure out if it was covered or not, and then they wouldn't see me like for the appointment unless they knew, unless it was paid for. I guess probably because you're choosing it, it's not like a prenatal appointment or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I paid, and then I go in, they do your vitals, all that stuff, and then they just come back in, they're like, take your pants off. And
why'd you say it like that? Take your pants off?
No, they actually said undress from the waist down, and then you put the drape over your lap.
Did you hide your underwear
in
your shorts?
Of course, I'm not going to leave my undies out like that. That's so messed up.
I think that's so funny that that's actually a thing.
Are you going to leave your panties out?
You're butt naked from the waist down, yet you have to hide your underwear?
It's just, they don't need to see that. They're on a need-to-see basis. I don't love that they're going down there anyway, but...
Was it a lady
one
doctor?
lady. She comes in.
Literally one lady? No nurse to hold your hand?
No nurse to hold my hand.
What?
She was super nice. She asked if I had any questions, and she didn't really give me a whole lot of information because I've already had an IUD. So if it was my first, I'm sure she would really go into detail about like describing things because there are risks that come with it, and there's side effects to know about, which I'm not going to repeat here because I don't remember everything. So then she like tells me how long it's effective for, kind of like gets out, and then it literally comes in like a pack. Like they have like a little...
You see it. You literally saw the IUD.
Well, it comes in like a sterile thing so they can...
Whoa.
It's like, it literally says Mirena, and they pull it out, and there's a bunch of tools in there for them to use. Because they're one-time use things, because they're going inside you. But then they first like use the little speculum thingy, they clean you out, and then...
What do you mean they clean you out?
It's not iodine, but it's like iodine.
Whoa.
To sterilize.
Okay.
Because it's piercing through.
That is just so crazy.
Yeah, it is really crazy. Then they measure, which that doesn't feel comfortable. But then this time, actually, no, stop. This time, they used some type of anesthesia or numbing spray is what she called it. And that actually burned, which I wasn't expecting. So she sprays this numbing spray in there and literally lets it sit for like less than a minute.
Could you you could feel it like spraying? Like it was like a spray bottle?
It burned. Like it burned inside me.
Like did you just take out a spray bottle with some stuff in there?
I can't see what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she sprays. And
Weird.
then I said, that's kind of odd because I didn't get any numbing the first time. And she's like, yeah, not everyone uses it.
Really?
She said not even in that same practice. So maybe if it's something you're nervous about and you really want to have some type of pain relief or pain preventative, then maybe ask your provider if they do offer some type of numbing.
Because maybe that's something that you can do beforehand.
Yeah. And so she did it. I didn't even think that she was going to do that. I mean, it's not like I could still feel stuff, but I have to believe that it made it easier. I don't know. And then they measure, and then they clamp down on your cervix. And here's the thing. You don't really need to know everything that's going on down there because they'll do what they need to do to get it in, and it'll just be done in an instant. And they kept saying, small cramp, and then they would do something, and then it really was just like a small cramp, and then it was done.
Wow.
I had to stay there for a minute because it was bleeding.
Are you bleeding right now? Do you have? Are you wearing? Do you have to wear like a pad or like what exactly?
I mean, I probably should wear a pad.
Because you can't. Oh, you're not wearing anything.
I have toilet paper. It's very light.
Abby, you're hilarious.
It's so light. I hate pads.
Did they say? Hold up. Did they say you can't have a tampon in or anything? Were they like no tampons for a certain amount of time?
No, they didn't say that.
Really? Okay.
But why would I need a tampon?
I don't know, because of the bleeding.
No.
Okay.
No. It's not nearly enough to use a tampon. It's so light. It's very minimal.
So the pain was literally a cramp.
Yeah, it's like a cramp, like a pinchy cramp.
It didn't feel like you were getting stabbed.
No.
What about poked? Did you feel a poke?
Yeah.
When they extend the little arms on the thing, because it's like a little.
Oh
T.
yeah, and then they're like, "Here comes the arms." It's like an umbrella.
You feel like an umbrella.
I wouldn't even know that I would think that if I didn't know that that's actually what was happening. But I do. You feel like a little ooh,
wow.
What's that? Yeah.
It's crazy how that goes through your cervix.
Yeah.
Like it's literally so high up. It's like it's past all the lady parts.
Strings.
Yeah, and then you have little strings.
No, it's not past the lady parts. It's in the lady parts.
Well, it's in your uterus. Like
yeah.
It's not even in your vagina. Like it's literally past that.
Oof.
What?
It's crazy. I mean, it is crazy.
Can I just say you are really tough?
Really?
Because I feel like a lot of women get scared about IUD insertion, and rightfully so.
I wasn't excited for it.
Rightfully so. It's not an easy thing to do.
Well, I don't want to. Sorry.
I think that you handle it like a champ. Like I think you're a tough cookie.
Thank you.
And I think I need to remember that whenever you're like in pain, because it's like this lady's not. She's not a wussy, okay? Like you're really tough. So like if you're crying because you're in pain, like you are in a lot of pain.
When have I ever cried for pain in front of you?
And that's a really good question. You maybe just cry because of emotional things.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever cried because of pain in front of you. I just don't find myself crying because I'm in pain. Yeah. Ever. Even in the worst contraction, I literally think about that. There was never in my mind to think about crying. It was literally just like.
It's crazy because it looks like you're gonna cry right now. Like your eyes got all watery.
Because I yawned.
I think you yawned, yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to minimize anyone's experience. If they had like a bad IUD experience or it was scary or was really painful, I do not want to minimize that at all because I attribute a lot of this to my practitioners, like being very competent and good at their job. Today's sponsor is one of our favorite baby brands, Dreamland Baby. We use their dream-weighted sleep sack every single night with our babies, plus every single nap they ever take.
Ever since Griffin was a newborn, and now Augie's wearing the Dreamland sleep sack.
Whenever I have a friend that's pregnant or has a new baby, I always go in and get them a Dreamland sleep sack because I'm like, you don't even know. It's literally the key to sleep because they get your baby to fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, and I truly believe that.
Well, it kind of just makes them feel like they're getting a warm hug, and our newborn loves to be held when he sleeps, so to transition him to not having to be held at all times for him to sleep, it's nice to not have to baby wear him all day, every day, because that's what we did for a while. He would not sleep by himself, but I really do think that part of the reason he's sleeping on his own now is the sleep sack.
For sure. And they have all kinds of different products, so you can use them from when your baby is a newborn to much bigger, like our massive toddler.
Our 15-month-old is still using a sleep sack because they make different sizes for each age.
They also have a swaddle, which is what our baby's in. It's a gently weighted sleep swaddle. They also have a transition swaddle and then into their sleep sacks. The number one issue for a new parent to face is lack of sleep. And so invest in your sleep. Get yourself a Dreamland. If you have someone in your family that has a baby or a friend, do them a solid. Get them a Dreamland. Yeah. I cannot give this product more of a deep endorsement. We love Dreamlands. They're like a sleep trigger for our kids now. We really stand by them. So
Dreamland Baby is having their biggest sale of the year. Go to dreamlandbabyco.com and enter Unplanned BOGO 23 at checkout for the buy one get one free weighted products deal. This is a great way to stock up on Dreamland Baby products or to give as a holiday gift. That's code Unplanned BOGO 23 for the buy one get one free weighted products deal.
Now back to the episode. So you're 24 right now. You could have this till you're 32.
Wow.
So wait, was that like were you just like messing around right there?
No, I'm being real. I can't believe in 8 years I'll be 32.
Right?
Crazy.
Are we gonna wait this out?
What do you mean? Like leave it in for 8 years?
Are we gonna like reconvene on like the kids thing in 8 years?
Sooner than that.
If
I'm gonna have another kid, it's not gonna be as long as 8 years from now.
What's crazy is we could actually have children like when you're 40. Like we could wait 16 years. Griffin could be 17, about to finish high school. Yeah. Augie could be 16, driving, and we're like, yeah, let's have another baby.
We could do that.
Like we 100% could do that, which is a little crazy to me.
Where I'm at right now, I can't see a world where I would want to do that.
My mom had all of her kids in her 30s. My grandma had my uncle at 42. My aunt had a baby at 40, I believe. Like you legit could have a baby at 40 years old. But personally, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
I just think it'd be fun to be young empty nesters.
Yeah.
Because then we can live it up together.
Yeah. I do see, I think realistically, we'll probably get this out before 8 years.
I think it'd be fun to be young grandparents too, because we can like really play with our grandkids.
Yep.
And then if our kids decide not to have grandkids, then we'll just adopt a kid. Wouldn't that be fun? Like it's like, oh well, the fates decided we're not getting grandkids, so we're
Would you be disappointed if neither one of our kids had kids?
I think it would be sad. Yeah, I want to have grandkids.
Yeah.
So then we just
It'd be hard though, because you can't say anything to them.
Or we could.
Because if they don't want to have kids, the last thing you want to do is to make someone who doesn't want to have kids, because then they probably wouldn't be the best parents.
Or maybe we could be foster parents, maybe, if we like wanted to have like kids in our life again. I don't know. There's a lot of options. Volunteer.
Definitely should volunteer.
Yeah. When should I get? Because I was thinking about this. I was actually like, we didn't really talk about it because I think it was pretty clear that a vasectomy wouldn't be the move right now since I am 25 and that's like a permanent thing.
Yeah.
But I did look it up, and vasectomies are reversible, but it's not like 100%.
How much does a vasectomy cost?
At least in Europe, because it was in euros or something, it said like $4,500 to reverse a vasectomy. So I'm guessing.
How much does a vasectomy in the U.S. cost?
I'm gonna guess $5,000.
Oh, so
it's a surgery. It's like a small surgery that you get.
But you're awake for it. It's not a surgery. I think it's a procedure.
I think they numb you. They numb the area because they're
like. Well, yeah, they use lidocaine.
They're like cutting you open. Sure. You know, like they're like literally going. It's not like a super crazy surgery, but it is a small surgery. When should I get a vasectomy? When do you think would be a good time?
When we're 32? Sure we're not gonna have any more kids.
Do you think 32 we'll know?
Probably by 32 we'll know.
Yeah, because I feel like I could see us having them all. I think at least in my head, I was like, we're gonna have all of our kids in our 20s.
Yeah, that was in my head too.
And that was what I thought before we gave birth to Griffin, and then now Augie's here, and so now it's just like we'll have to figure out all.
Isn't that kind of good though? We kind of just like knocked it out.
We did knock it out, and I think it's harder now, but. Dude, when they're older, it's gonna be so sweet.
No, it's already so sweet.
The only bad thing is they could be arch enemies, but you just can't control that with your kids.
No, they're best friends.
Griffin's so sweet to Augie.
No, but then you should have seen it. Augie smiled like he has never smiled.
Really?
He's such a smiley guy. But when Griffin came over and was like waving in his face, Augie had the biggest smile from ear to ear for a long time. He loves his brother too. They both love each other.
I love that.
I know. I was talking to someone the other day about like how their oldest responded when they brought the baby home. They're like, didn't really love it. And I'm like, Griffin loves him. Mm-hmm. Like he loves being a big brother. And he's so little. It's sweet. Yeah. He has a big emotional capacity for such a little guy.
Griffin's just at such a fun age right now. And so I love it. I really am enjoying this age. And I think I need to remind myself with Augie, because I think about Augie, I'm like, oh man, I just can't wait for Augie to be older. But it's like, well, when Augie's older, I won't ever have a 1-year-old Griffin anymore.
Aww.
And so it's part of why I wrote that song I like right now, because it makes you remember that the here and now is going to pass in an instant. And so once it's done, it's done.
Stop.
And I think if you just spend your life wanting to go to the future or wanting to go to the past, then you're never going to fully be present in the here and now. And that's a problem. And I'm the biggest culprit of that. I'm so bad at that. I just get excited. I'm like, oh, I can't wait till we like own a home. And then we own a home.
No,
now that we own a home, I can't wait till we have kids. Oh, now we have kids. I can't wait till, and you just keep saying the same crap over and over again.
I feel like you're good at keeping yourself in check though. You're always like, I enjoy this. Like,
yeah, I've been reminding myself of that. Like when I take Griffin on walks or we go on a bike ride, like it's really fun. I really enjoy it. And I just remember, hey, I can fully be present in this moment and enjoy this and not want to be anywhere else than right here, because this is the best. And these like are the glory days too. Like we're going to look back on these days one day and say, I wish I could go back. I wish I could relive being young and being parents to two young, beautiful little boys. So I just want to fully cherish it, you know?
Same.
Yeah.
So that's why I have a hard time like being like, okay, this is what I'm going to do 8 years from now, like this is what I'm gonna do in the meantime. Like I don't know, I have a hard time making all those plans because it's like I'm just enjoying where we're at with our family of 4 and our 2 little boys. Yeah. And the doctor was explaining, she's like, well, you don't have a girl yet, so
so she was kind of like encouraging you to get the IUD out someday.
Not encouraging me, but she was like definitely thinking that we would try for another, especially because I'm 24.
I don't know what it is, but I just had 2 brothers growing up, and so the fact that we have 2 boys just kind of made sense to me. Like I almost expected this. I just kind of thought, yeah, I had brothers, so I'll have boys, and I don't feel like I'm missing out that we don't have a girl.
I don't either. I thought I would.
And I know dads that are in the same boat, but on the opposite end, where they wanted little girls, and now they have girls, and they're like, I'm so content with where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't feel like people are like, are you going to keep trying until you get a girl? I'm like, no, I feel really content with where we're at. And I don't think a girl would complete our family. I feel like our family's complete. But it doesn't mean that we don't have room for more.
Yeah.
So yeah, all that to say, I feel really satisfied with having, if we just have all boys or if we just have 2 boys, like I would feel very satisfied. I love kids. And this is my ultimate life's dream, was to be a mom, to have kids. Mm-hmm. Like the top, this is my mountaintop moment. And so for me, it's sad to think that it went by so fast because we had them back to back so fast, because moments are lost when you have 2 so close together. I'm missing moments with Griffin when I'm nursing Augie, or I have to set Augie down to like play with Griffin more. I feel like that part is like kind of heartbreaking to me, if that was like, if this was it, you know?
Wouldn't that be the case though if we have more kids? Because then
of course,
the more you add, the less time you get with each kid individually. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like,
I think I'm just saying I would be really sad if that season of life went by so quick.
Oh yeah,
like it has.
What's crazy though is like, do you ever see how freaking cute like 8-year-old kids are? Like Griffin won't be 8 until 7 years from now, and I'll be 32. You'll be 31. Like, we got time. Yeah. We have time to really enjoy these years with them and do some fun trips. Like, I would love nothing more than to convert a Sprinter van and go like road trip around the country with our boys and like work on the road and just go on hikes as a family and be out in nature. I think there's something so special about being in nature with the people that you love. It's so much fun. Like some of my favorite memories together is me and you out on a hike together, just exploring the world. And some of my best memories with friends are like snowboarding in the mountains and being surrounded by that beauty, or going on a camping trip with a bunch of guys and being in the mountains of Hawaii, like surrounded by beautiful trees and you can look down and see the ocean. Like there's just nothing better than being out in nature with the people that you love.
Yeah, that's hard to do with babies for sure.
So I think I'm excited for that. Would you be willing to go do van life with me with our boys?
No.
Okay. Would you be willing to do it for a week?
I would, yes.
Okay, there we go.
I would consider if anything off the wall was really important to you, I would consider it.
I appreciate that.
I agree to some wacky things.
The things that are important to you, obviously, like, what's a wacky, hey, your turn, you take the baton. Like, what's a wacky thing you can think of that you think would be fun to do as a family? Like, would you want to go to Japan or something? Or maybe something that's not crazy. Maybe it's just like...
No, I'm not, like, crazy right now. I'm kind of in my, like, at-home...
Yeah.
Growing our family and our home and our community
vibes. Maybe it's just, I want to do Sunday picnics at the park with our boys or something, you know?
Sure. That sounds great.
That sounds good to me, too.
So, you're getting a vasectomy?
Yep.
Yeah, as far as, like, what to expect or what maybe you can expect post-IUD later that day is, I feel like, pretty much totally normal. Maybe a little crampy, maybe a little bloated, but...
Can't do it for 3 days.
They recommended that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was bleeding. So maybe infection.
Oh, okay.
Risk of that. I don't really know why. But she did say, 3 days.
Gotcha.
But I don't think it's like a hard and fast, like 3 days. Oh, something she did say is that the strings are really stiff right now and maybe pokey.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
It's going to scare me the first time doing it. Because, like, the last time...
What are you thinking about?
The last time that happened when you weren't pregnant, we got pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I'm sterile.
Bro, like, that would be the craziest reverse Uno card if, like, we get an IUD and then you get pregnant again.
No, that would be
I would,
wild.
like... And, of course, we'd love that baby so much. But I would be, like, throwing... I would be throwing up in my mouth. I'd be like, I don't know what to do. Like, I would just, like... Dude...
If at that point I'd be like, these were the cards we were dealt.
Dude, if that happened, I would like legit get a vasectomy for sure. Like that day, I'd be like, this is not like we're done. You know what I'm saying?
If you're feeling generous right now, it would mean a lot if you could just get out of this app just for a moment, go to your Spotify app. I know you have it, and then type in your little search bar, Matt Howard. Find that person and save his new song I like right now.
Thank you.
It is a banger. It is stuck in my head in the best way. It'll just make you so happy. It's one of those songs you can play on repeat in your car, play it in your kitchen while you're making pasta, even show it to your kids. our sons, especially Augie, no, I'm just kidding. Griffin really loves to bounce out to it. It's really sweet. He starts clapping as soon as it's playing.
Someone said in the comment section of our TikTok that it would be a good first dance song, Slow Down. Ooh. So now I'm like, maybe I should do a slowed down version of it. It's,
yeah, because a lot of people, cool. Like on their wedding day, they're thinking of like all their future plans.
Yes.
And I think that'd be a really good way for people to just like enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Also, if you're listening to our podcast on Spotify, you don't even have to leave to go listen to it. You can literally listen to it right here on Spotify.
That's a good point.
And if you're watching the podcast on YouTube, guess what? You can listen to the song right here on YouTube. If you search it, it'll pop up.
It's on YouTube too?
Yeah. It's also on Apple Music. It's literally everywhere. If your grandma still listens to Pandora, you can listen to it on Pandora. That's the cool thing about the way it's distributed. Did I just do like I said?
You added another id.
Yeah, I did add another id. But thank you, honey. Abby's my biggest cheerleader, so I really appreciate
that. Blow
that.
this up. I'm trying to be a music artist's wife.
You're hilarious.
And now back to the episode. Wouldn't it be crazy if I just told you I went into the doctor's office? Wait, is that the real?
That would be so dirty. That would be so dirty.
Was that the real reason you drove me to the IUD appointment to make sure I went?
No, are you serious? Are you
jerk.
serious? No.
You didn't trust me?
I did that to support you. Also, by the way, you could have just walked into the office, pretended that you went to an appointment. For all I know.
I know. What if I did that?
I'm fully trusting that you have an IUD right now. Okay? I honestly have no idea.
You'll know because the strings are really pokey when you first get it.
I remember that actually. That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Really?
Because they can fall out. Because if the strings come down too far, then like maybe that means the IUD is falling out. Because I used to have to check for the strings. Remember that?
Don't say that.
Okay.
They did say that I should come back in 6 weeks to check the strings.
Okay.
But she was like, if you've had one before, then you kind of know what to expect. So I didn't schedule that.
Dude, that's scary. You know for a fact that someone's had that happen before.
Okay, but here's the thing.
With 7 billion people in the world, there's someone that had an unplanned pregnancy, got an IUD after the unplanned pregnancy, and they got pregnant with a freaking IUD. I guarantee you it's happened.
Probably.
What would you do?
I think I'd be really overwhelmed at this point because I'd be like, oh, I've been pregnant for so long, and it is not good to have, like, if you can help it, like, consecutive C-sections, it's not good.
That would be really bad on your body, right?
I mean, it's not recommended for sure. They say at least a year.
But you got pregnant too quickly already with our second.
Well, it wasn't as serious because I did have a vaginal delivery the first time. But, like, if they're cutting into your uterus, they want you to be a little bit more spaced apart. So, yeah, I don't really feel anything. I feel light cramping. I'm actually going to go ride a horse today. I will let you know if that poses some issues. But that sucker's in there.
When are we going to start ripsticking together? Because I bought you a ripstick.
I don't know.
You also haven't ridden your one wheel in a while.
I hate the one wheel.
Why do you hate the one wheel?
You guys, Matt always tells me, he's like, I spent all this money on a one wheel for you, and you never ride it. I
thought it'd be so cute to one wheel together.
I never wanted a one wheel. I never wanted one of those.
I'm pretty sure you said you wanted it.
And I ate it so bad on one of those.
That's why you haven't gotten back on.
Me and Bella were riding. I fell literally to my chin. A guy came out of his house to check on me because of how bad the fall was.
Well, I think that dude like broke his wrist on a one wheel.
He said he broke both of his wrists on a one wheel. We're never. He said I broke both my wrists on one of those things. And I was like, I can believe it.
What's funny
is they're glitchy and they're scary.
You've eaten it. My brother Caleb ate it. Our friend Dallin ate it.
Josh ate it.
My brother Josh ate it. I'm the only one who hasn't eaten it on a one wheel yet.
I'm the only athletic.
And I'm the only one that ever, like, I always wear my helmet when I ride it. And then for a while, I wore wrist guards and knee pads.
You're a big helmet guy.
Just in case. You know, I like to have fun, but I like to send it safely. I like to be safe when I'm doing crazy activities.
Send it safely. Get merch that says that. Send it safely.
Safely send it would be the... Yeah.
I don't like that as much.
You don't like it? Sending it safely?
Yeah.
We got to do podcast merch. I think that'd be fun.
Send it safely.
Like if we did some sort of unplanned podcast merch, if we did something about you crying because you cry in every podcast episode.
I'm not crying today. Oh, are you worried about that?
What?
The fact that I have hormones now?
I actually am a little worried about that.
I'm worried about that too. But I feel like I finally had clarity of mind for the first time in months.
Well, I think there's postpartum hormones, but I think... Yeah,
but they've leveled out,
It can throw off things, though.
When has been the last time I cried, actually?
I haven't you haven't cried that much recently.
I feel like I was doing really good emotionally, and now I have birth control, and now I'm probably going to go off the rails again.
You really think so?
I hope not. I don't think it's that much hormones, not like pregnancy.
Yeah. Pregnancy's totally different.
I actually don't remember feeling any differences, the first time I had IUD, so I don't think I'm going to... I didn't struggle with my skin or with weight or libido
Now that you're
the
not
first time, so I don't
Yeah.
expect it this time.
My question though is, now that you're not pregnant, are you gonna go snowboarding with me this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the greens.
Are you excited?
I'm so scared.
Why have you've like built it up to this scary thing in your
Yeah,
brain?
because
It's
I haven't
really
gone
not that
because
scary.
I've been pregnant twice, and so now I'm gonna go snowboarding, and I'm like, I'm gonna break all my bones.
But that's why I bought the ripstick, because ripsticking is like snowboarding on land, so it's gonna help you learn.
Is it like the one wheel?
It's completely different than the one wheel.
Okay.
Completely different.
I like the idea of a ripstick because it's not electronic, so it can't glitch out on me.
Well, they fixed that though. They sent over a new part, and I
don't trust
installed
it.
it.
I'll never trust it
because
again.
one time it did the ghost mode thing where it just shot off by itself.
Yeah,
that
imagine if I was
scared you.
on there.
Yeah.
So I am definitely. Sometimes I ask myself, do I like snowboarding, or do I like it just because I want to do something with you that's like an activity and I want to make you happy?
That's the thing though, honey. You actually did like skateboarding. When I taught you how to skateboard.
I did.
So that's where I
think I do like it.
If you like skateboarding, you're going to like snowboarding and you're going to like surfing, but there is a learning curve. Like, it's not going to be as easy as it's nothing like skateboarding.
Can I actually talk about this? Because I was talking about this exact same thing with you recently. Remember we were in the car and I was like, I'm not saying it's positive or negative. This is just something that happens when you get married really young. But I do feel like I kind of have an identity crisis sometimes.
Me too.
Where I'm like, who in the world would I be had I not gotten married so young? Like, what would my preferences be? What would my hobbies be? Because you have shaped me at a time in my life where I was like changing so much. We both were changing so much, and we were together. So we changed each other and like formed each other as adults. What would I do with my adult life if it wasn't for you?
We were going on dates when we were both 17.
I know.
And now I'm 25. Like, think about that.
And then I ask myself, like you've changed my food habits. You've changed my, like I said, my hobbies. My career has been shaped by you. My, where I live, like the state I live in. Sometimes I like have crazy moments where I'm like, what in the world would I be if I were?
Yeah.
And it's not like, I think it's a really good thing that I think there's a lot of pros to getting married young.
I really think there's just pros and cons
We're
to
good
both.
for each other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say it worked out for us.
Worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't seem so sure of that.
I was thinking I was going to say something and I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Maybe just the fact that I picked up like your sense of humor, I think. Mm-hmm. You've like really swayed me in that direction, and I don't know. Yeah, you've
How
changed
would
me.
you describe my sense of humor?
It's really weird. Your sense of humor is different than any other sense of humor that I've ever understood. And I think you kind of created it with your friend Morgan, because you guys knew each other from such a young age.
It goes way back.
And it's so stupid. It's so in your face. You just make these weird faces and like do all these like weird things. You like, sometimes if you're excited, you'll like jump up in the air and like pretend that you're like running in midair. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you liked that.
I do. I think it's hilarious, but it's weird. Like, it still is really weird, but I think it's cute.
That's funny.
But yeah, like I never was into traveling before I met you, but then you got me into travel, and you've changed me a lot. We've both changed each other, and I think that's just part of a healthy relationship. You just take on each other's attributes, I guess.
It's really beautiful when you think about it.
Yeah.
So in 2023, we had a baby. In 2022, 2022 we had a baby. 2023 we had a baby. In 2024, what are we having? We had an IUD, so not a baby.
I did do that Instagram post that said we were gonna get a dog. I said if this gets 100,000 likes, I'll get a dog.
Are we getting a dog?
And then people all liked it. This was back in 2021, but then like the next day we found out we were pregnant, so we never got the dog. So we could get a dog in 2024. The only problem though is if we travel a lot, which I do want to start traveling again.
Well, now that my parents live with us.
But now that your parents live with us, they could watch the dog while we're gone, and your dad loves dogs, so maybe we could like co-parent the dog. Like maybe it's like partially our dog and partially your parents' dog. That'd be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. That'd be good.
We could think about that.
We could either do that or we could have a coffee shop.
That would also be fun. You mentioned that today. You were like, I would love to go work at a coffee shop. And I'm like, Abby, what if you just opened up your own coffee shop and then you could also work at it?
I would love that. If you guys want to work at my coffee shop, I'm looking for employees. I'm also looking for a manager because I cannot tell people what to do. It's not my thing. It's not my jam. I like being told what to do. I don't like telling people what to do. And I don't mean that in like a controlling way. I don't like to be the boss. I'm not a boss woman. Yeah. And also,
you boss me around.
Do I?
Sometimes, yeah.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
Would you ever use the word bossy to describe me?
I think you get mad, and then it's like, then I'm like, I'm just afraid that you're going to be pissed at me. So then I'm just playing this game of what does Abby want right now? And if I figure that out, then it's happy wife, happy life.
You are ridiculous.
It's so true.
Who do you think is going to be the stricter parent?
Every old man that we've ever met when we're traveling,
I pointed that out to you.
every single one is always like, hey, by the way, this is the best advice I'll ever give you.
To stay
happy
married.
Happy wife, happy life. They all say that.
When are you going to figure that out then?
And I think young guys are just too stupid to like realize it. And so you keep your wife happy, you're going to be on your way to bliss. That's just a little.
Let's keep working
That's
towards
just a little
that.
something to share with all the dudes listening to this podcast.
Let's keep working on
birth
implementing
and
that, Matt.
IUDs.
Howard. I was just asking you, who do you think is going to be the stricter parent between the two of us?
Probably me, actually.
Yeah.
You're already giving our kid like sugar over and over again. You give him chocolate milk like every day. You're giving him juice.
Kids' protein
Our
drink.
pediatrician said to hold off on juice till he's 3.
It's a splash
and
in
you're
some
giving
water.
You're giving him apple juice all the time.
A splash of juice in some water.
And you always give him bites of your ice cream.
Just a little lick.
I want to spoil my kid, but I also want to make decisions that are on par with what our pediatrician suggests for our children.
I want him to know how many good foods there are out there
That's
that
true.
are so yummy.
Well, dudes, this was such a fun conversation. If you haven't already listened to any of my songs on Spotify, that would be really much appreciated. Shameless self
You should
promotion
definitely
right
listen
there.
to him. I'll sing a little ditty for them.
You want to sing it? Go for it.
If I could change the future, I know I shouldn't.
It's actually that the first lyric is if I could change a single thing, I wouldn't. Is the first lyric of.
Check it out on Spotify. Matt Howard song I like right now. It'll be stuck in your head, but in the best way.
Yeah, I think this is the best one yet. And by the
Definitely.
time that they're listening to this episode, I might have my 4th song out already. So listen to that
Also,
one.
no, don't be offended that I didn't know the lyrics. You literally didn't show it to me until it was already out.
That is true.
You can't be mad at me for not knowing the lyrics. I've listened to it a lot since.
But wherever you listen to it, if you could hit the save or the favorite button, that really helps me out because that just tells the algorithm that people like the song, and then they'll play it for other random people, and then they can also hear the song too. So just make sure you favorite it, save it, hit that heart, whatever. That would mean a lot.
Yeah.
Or the plus. There's a plus now. I love that Spotify lets you do plus and minus because then it knows your taste in music. So I always hit the plus button on the music that I like. And so do that for my song if you like it, obviously.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. And as always, 3, 2, 1. Peace out, dudes.